Hello everyone, Notion Switch here. Today, let's explore our Travel Planner Plus template and learn how to make the most of it. This is gonna be the only travel planner you need for every trips you plan. Okay, first, this is the overall look of the template. There is several sections: quick button, navigation, trips, calendar, memories to look, and countries section. So, the first section here is quick button. There are 4 buttons which we can use to add a new trip, new expense, new country wish list, and new memories. The second here is our navigation section, which also acts as a database. Please be careful with the data here. There is trip, countries, packing list, place to visit, accommodation, expense, itinerary, and memories. We will explore it in more detail later. The third part is our trip section. There are several views here. So the first one is ongoing, the second is for our upcoming trip, the third is for past trip, the next is for to be confirmed trip. This is for the trip that has been planned but not yet having an exact date. The last is records for all trip entry we input in this travel planner. Below is the calendar of the current month. If we have any trips in this month, it will show up in the calendar below. As we can see, we have 2 trips this month, trip to Bali and Barcelona. Here I come. The next section here is memories to look section. Here we can see the shuffle of our photo automatically from our trip that we include in the memories dump section. I will show you later about that part. So here, every few minutes, we can see a new photo from our memories database with the countries and description of the photo. Cool, isn't it? Okay, the next is country section below. Here, there are 2 views. The first one will be the countries which we tick as a wish list in our countries database. We can see here by clicking one that the wish list is checked. The other view is visited country. So if our trip to a country is already in the past, they automatically going into the visited country. Don't forget to uncheck the wish list of the visited country so that it won't appear in the wish list again. Phew. Now that we have covered the basics, let's dive into the specifics of each section and unearth all the hidden treasures in our Travel Planner Plus. Okay, the first one is our quick button section. In this section, there is 4 buttons for quick action through our phone or desktop. The first one is new trip. So if we click the button, it will open a new page of new trip that already completed with the template to fill. We must wait a little for the template to load out. Okay, so we can start filling the title, countries, cities, date, notes, and the budget. The total expense is a formula which will automatically appear when we enter expense transaction in the section below. The percent budget is the comparison of the total expense and our budget. Below is a button we can use to go back to the dashboard. Okay, let's look around what is in the trip template. So there are must visit places, our to-do list, our itinerary, expenses, accommodation, packing list, and memorable experience list. We can fill all of these to plan our next trip. We don't have to finish it in one go. Don't worry, we can add it later in the trip section or database. Later, I will show you an already done trip plan. Okay, the next button is the new wishlist button. If we click this, it will open the countries database. We can go to all view and then click the search and type in what country we want to add into our wishlist. Here in the countries database, all 195 countries has been added, so we don't have to add it manually. After we find it, we can just simply tick the wishlist box to add it in our wishlist. So let's try to search for Japan. Okay, and then we check the wishlist. Okay, can go back using the back to dashboard button. You can see Japan is there in the wishlist countries in our dashboard. The next button is the new expense button. Time to talk money, honey. With the new expense button, you can track your spending faster than you can say overpriced airport snack. So, if we click this, we can fill the new expense transaction, the trip, date, category, amount, and notes. After that, it will add it automatically to the expense database and record it in the corresponding trip. So let's try to add it to our past trip as an example. Let's just type in lunch. The trip is trip to Bali. The date is March 10th. The category is food, obviously. The amount is 30. And the notes we fill in Balinese traditional food. Okay. After finished, then go back by clicking on the site. It will be added to the Bali trip expense. Let me show you. You can see it right inside the trip or in the trip database here. See? So the last button is the new memories button. When we click this, we can fill the memories title, countries of the trip we are going, and the last is to attach the picture of the memories we want to add. Because what's a trip without some photo evidence, am I right? Snap a peek at the caption and let the reminiscing begin. It's like building your own virtual scrapbook, minus the glue and the glitter explosions. So, for example, we will add Tanah Lot is so cool, and the countries is Indonesia. The trip is trip to Bali. Then we upload the photo, also add some description, and after the photos finish uploading, we are done. The photo will be added into the trip page and also the memories page, and it will be shuffled in the memories to look section. Easy, isn't it? Okay, so the next is our navigation section. Let's try clicking the trip one. Here you can see all of the trip we have been done or planned. It is in the table view to make it easier to access all the information of our trip, including the cities, date, notes, budget, total expense from the trip, and percent budget we spent. Okay, we can click the button to go back. Okay, so the next is countries. As I told before, here we have 195 countries database added already. Let's see inside one of it. Inside of it, we can see the trip, which is blank if we don't have any related trip to the country, the continent, the capital, currency, and language, all already inputted for the 195 countries. It also has its own flag symbol as its icon, and the cover image which is selected from each country's scenery. The last two is review, from 1 to 5 star for countries we already visited, and the wishlist checkbox from earlier. You can see more country. Austria, the capital, currency, and language is already inputted. Brazil, also the same. With the cover is also selected from the country respectively. Okay, the next is the view. We saw all countries. We also divide it into each continent. Let's see Asia. We can see the beauty of each country from the cover earlier here. If you feel that it's too slow here, you can also go to the three dots here, click layout, then in card preview, select none to remove all the picture from each country to make it faster. You can get it back by clicking the page cover as card preview again. We can see here America, also Africa, Europe, and Oceania. You can also change the cover by your own image if you want. By just clicking the country page, go to the top where you can see change cover and then upload your own image. The next, we have wishlist view. which is the list of countries we tick in the wishlist box. The last is visited country, the country which has been visited. When we input a trip to a country, the country will automatically input it here using formula. So just don't forget to tick off the wishlist and give the visited country a review. Now here is one of the best part. So we only have visited Indonesia here, right? Let's click into the page. Here you can find a template which says click here. So let's click it. Wait for a while and ta-da! The countries we have visited will have its data automatically added based on each trip in that country. Here you can see the trip, the place to visit, and the memories we have in that countries, grouped by each trip we go there. Great, isn't it? Okay, let's go back using the back button. The next is our packing list, every traveler's best friend and worst enemy. Here, we can see our packing list grouped by each trip. It can be toggled to hide it easily. You can just copy one to the other as reference and edit special item for a special trip. Okay, back to the dashboard. The next is place to visit. Here, we can see our places to visit grouped by each trip in gallery view. It also can be toggled to hide it easily. That's it. Okay, let's go back again using the button. The next, accommodation. The sweet reward after a long day of exploring. Browse through your past stays and future hideaways in gallery view. Here, you can see our accommodation we used in the past trip or planned trip, grouped by each trip in gallery view. It also can be toggled to hide it easily. Okay, let's go back again. The next is expense. Here, you can see our expense transaction list we had in the past trip or planned trip, grouped by each trip in table view. You can see what kind of transaction and the sum of expense on each trip easily to make a better planning for next trip. You can go back using the button. Okay, the itinerary, the roadmap to adventure. So plan your days with precision in board style view. The itinerary of all our trips is grouped by the trip and the day. So we can see it clearly. Okay, so let's go back again. The last is memories. Here we can see the memories database we dump on each trip. All of these memories picture will be shuffled in the dashboard every few minutes in the memories to look section. Okay, now let's explore deeper in the last part, which is each trip. Let's click the past and click one that we have prepared here, trip to Bali. There is a cover photo. Oh, don't forget to insert cover photo each time we add new trips for a better visual. Just click add cover near the icon and then change the cover by uploading files, link, or pick one from Unsplash. After we fill in the title, we have countries. Just type the name of the countries and pick it. The cities here, just type it and then enter to make a new one. Just like this. Then type some notes if you want. Then set your budget on this trip. Later, the total expense will automatically appear with the sum expense of the expense we inputted below. And we can now see the percentage of budget we already spent. The next is must visit places. Here, we can list the essential places to visit on our next trip. For instance, we have started a plan for Bali, Indonesia. If you need recommendations, try using ChatGPT for easy suggestions. Okay, let's try to add must visit places. First, we need to set a new template by going upper right and click the arrow on the blue button. Click the plus new template. Type it trip to Bali or trip to whenever you go on the next trip. And then set the trip to Bali and country to Indonesia in this case. Then go back. Click the plus new button and click the trip to Bali template below and then start filling the details of the places. Type the place's name and the address and describe the activities. To include a photo, click Add Cover and change cover. You can upload your own image or use Unsplash for quick options. For example, let's add Jimbaran Beach. Okay, then fill in the address. Let's add some description. Click Add Cover and then change cover. For now, let's just search from Unsplash. Type Jimbaran Beach and then we click the one we want. After that, we can reposition it to make it look better. Right next is sort to-do list. You can easily fill in tasks, preparations, ticket buying, visa creation, or the other tasks here. It's a checkbox type, so click when we completed the task. Use new item button to add more tasks. Okay, below is the itinerary section. The itinerary is divided into days, up to day 7. If your trip is longer, use the plus at the right to add day 8, 9, 10, and so on. So how do we add to itinerary? You can just click the plus new if we want to add the new one. Fill in the title and the time. After that, we can also drag and drop to make it easier if we have a change of plan. Next is expense. We can fill in our expense during the trip here. Just type the date, the item, and the category with the amount. Next is packing list. List down what to pack. It is divided into several categories like clothing, documents, electronics, and toiletries. Click plus new if we want to add a new one. Fill in the name and the quantity. If you finish pack it, just check the box. Accommodation. Upload our accommodation photo here. Click the new button and then fill it the check-in and check-out date, address, booking reference if there is any, and the photo of the accommodation. The next is memories dump. This is the place where we put our memorable pictures of the trip. To add, simply click the plus new button. Give the title, countries, upload your picture, and give the description. It will be shown in the dashboard as Memories to Look section. The last section is for memorable experience. It is for jotting down your memorable and interesting experiences during the trip. We can add a new list by clicking the new list button. Yeah, that's a wrap. So, what's next? Grab your passport, pack your sense of adventure, and let's hit the road! Thanks for joining me on this journey through our Travel Planner Plus Notion template tour. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. The link to this template is in the description box. Until next time, happy travels!